Eileo guys, and welcome back. Alright, so I think I did this video earlier this year, but it just so happened Crowhook finally has gotten a light and dark evolution. So if you're new to the game, or if you've been like on hiatus and you've just returned, well, congratulations. Hopefully this is the video for you. But let's go ahead and get right into it here. So starting off here with Fire Crowhook, he is a balance type and he's coming in with 29k HP, 2k attack, and then about 1.7k defense here. So Nat 3 stat distribution wise, his HP is actually quite a lot for whatever reason, and his attack is very subpar. Not to mention his defense is just gag me with a machete here. But let's take a look at his skills real quick. So for his 3-star skill, he has morale boost, which grants 100% chance to restore 30% of his own SP when attacking. Then for his 5-star skill, he has 2 types of sap with an 80% chance for 1 turn here. So I don't know why I forget this, but I mean, he does have a Deplo lead as well, which could be helpful for you. But I always forget that he is an actual sapper. He's not a dedicated sapper, but he is a sapper capable of getting to his 5-star skill very quickly. So if you're in a pinch and you're trying to build a sapper like ASAP because you maybe just began the game this month and you don't have any sappers, which are very important by the way, I can see a player picking Crowhook up and using him just purely for his saps at a beginner's level. But obviously once you move on past beginner's level and you get into harder golems, etc., I probably wouldn't recommend it no matter how tanky you built him, because his defense stat is just super duper anemic. But he is indeed usable as a sapper. I'm not saying a great sapper, but a sapper. So morale boost though gets a whopping, what is that? 30% damage boost? 30% damage boost, and then it also goes to 50%. Okay. And then sap times 2 for 80% gets a 20% damage boost, and it goes to 2 turns as well. So those books are pretty potent. Just do keep in mind though, he is a Nat 3. I wouldn't bring him in a Nat 3 league even with those stats, because morale boost and sap, who does that in PvP? But once again, if you need a quick and easy sapper, especially with him being a rebirth mon at this point in time, go ahead and pick him up. Next up though is going to be Water Crowhook, who's an attacker type. He's coming in with 26k HP, 2.6k attack, and then 1.7k defense. So what makes him a lot better than the fire one, at least in terms of damage, is his attack stat is what, like roughly 600 points higher, a little bit less HP, and defense is just as garbage, but it's like kill or be killed, which I'm fine with. Fire Crowhook, other than his ability to sap, so he should be tanky because you can't get any damage out of him because of his low defense, is just like, I'm gonna sap you to death or I'm gonna die. Water Crowhook is like, bro, I'm gonna die or you're gonna die. Maybe it's gonna be both of us, but someone ain't walking out here alive. But let's go and take a look at his skills though. So for his first skill, he has Hunter, which increases his critical hit damage by 50%. Pretty chunky, especially even for a Nat 3. And then for his 5-star skill, he has a 60% chance for stun for 1 turn. Not really appealing right there. That 60% chance for 1 turn, not super appealing. But let's take a look at the books here. So Hunter receives a 35% damage increase, if I can read correctly, and then his stun gets a 20% damage increase, but it goes to 60% chance for 2 turns. This is very kind of comparable to, I want to say, Light Leo, but Light Leo does have morale boost for his 3-star skill, and Water Crowhook doesn't. And I believe Light Leo's might be 70% chance when fully booked up, but it's not so much that you're going to be using him in a PvE situation. I mean, you could. I mean, he's not a wave clearer, but he is a easy water nuker to build. It's just that he's kind of limited by his stats. What's more appealing about him though is going to be in PvP for the Nat 3 league, especially because I know I stated before in the other video with Crowhook, but like, it's SG. There's other players, I think Hayuki at some point in time was like rocking Water Crowhook. There's other players rocking Water Crowhook because the dude hits like an F word. He hits like a butt cheek on a stick with not only his Hunter already being 50%, but the increased Nat 3 stats, and then his stun goes off too. It's just like, bruh, that's a lot of damage. People are getting stunned. Astromon are out here dying. My screen is flashing, and I'm mad. So I'm not saying that he's like the world's best Nat 3 mon, but if you were gonna build a mon specifically for the Nat 3 league, it's going to be this boy right here. And I do hope with Light and Dark Crowhook being introduced, maybe not even this year, but I'm hoping that like next year we actually can get like a super evolution for him, because I think that's really going to make Crowhook go from to like. Alright, and then moving forward though, we do have Wood Crowhook, who is also an attacker type. He's coming in with 25k HP, 2.7k attack, and then about 1.8k defense. So once again, anemic in the defense department, but his stats are pretty much a copy of the water one. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skills here. So he's pretty much, once again, kind of like a copy of the water one. So for his 3-star skill, there's Hunter, which increases his critical hit damage by 50%. And then for his 5-star skill, he has a 6% chance to reduce the enemy's defense for 2 turns here. So kind of debuffing, kind of weird choice too, because his main damage skill is going to be his 3-star skill, and then his debuffing skill is his 5-star skill. So if he can get that defense down off, obviously Hunter is going to do more damage. So not too bad, especially for what you may end up using him for, especially for newer players. Like I think it's Golem's B7. Yeah, you could build him up and use him in there at very minimum for his Hunter for his 3-star skill. But other than that, I'm not really sure where he would be useful at, because let's go over here to his books. So his Hunter receives the same bonus as Water Crowhook, which is a 35% damage increase, and then his defense down goes to 60% chance with a 20% damage increase for 3 turns. So still pretty potent. However, especially in a PvP scenario like the Nat 3 League, do I want to apply defense down on the target, or do I want to make sure that target can't move? Just saying. Oh, I want to make sure he can't move, because it doesn't matter if he has defense down or not. If he doesn't die, he can still act and just clap my whole team and congratulations, you lost. So it's kind of just a better pick, I guess, elemental wise, especially for Water Crowhook versus Wood Crowhook, because I mean, there's Draka, there's other Firemons, like, what is it, Jian Wuchi with his, I believe, his Lethal Strike, if I'm remembering that correctly. So I feel like Firemons are a lot more common in a PvP situation than Woodmons, but, you know, your mileage may vary here. So, once again, I mean, if you want to build him, especially as a newer player, feel free to build him up and use him in Golem's B7. Other than that, you'll probably end up dropping him, or, depending on your team composition in the Nat 3 League, you might end up keeping him. Who knows? Alright then, you guys, coming in hot. Yes, the moment you've all been waiting for. We have Light Crowhook, who's an attacker type. He's sitting at 26k HP, 3.3k attack, and then 2.2k defense. So, Nat 4 here, his stats are better than his brothers. Not too much better, but they are better. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skills real quick. Alright, so for his 3-star skill, he has Hunter, which increases critical hit damage by 50%. No surprise there. And then for his 5-star skill, it's Elemental Edge, which I'm not a big fan of Elemental Edge. And I did fail to mention in my Drowsy update video too, is even though it's not useful against Darkmons, you can use it against RGBs. But more importantly, you can use that in the Elemental Tower of Chaos if you need it. I'm not going to say that it works, I'm not going to say it's needed, but it would definitely help speed along the process, since you're basically acting like a Darkmon in terms of that skill at that point in time. So there is usage right there, and then the Hunter just means just great damage right from the get-go, so I don't have to get to my 5-star skill to do any damage, because congratulations, I already have my 3-star skill for the damage right there. But let's take a look at the books. So his Hunter gets a whopping, what is that, 25% damage increase. And then Elemental Edge also receives a 25% damage increase. So books aren't bad. They're readily available because he is a Nat 3. His base form is a Nat 3, so there's really no excuse as to why you can't fully book up Light Crowhook. I'm not saying that he's a game changer, but I think he is a welcome addition to the Light and Dark family, and especially for Elemental Tower of Chaos players. Or if you end up picking up one, maybe he's your first Light Nuker, and I mean, that's fine. I'd rather have a Mon be introduced like this, where he does have some usability, and maybe he's not like top tier, like, oh my goodness, I have to have him. But if you get him and you raise him up, it's like, you know what? He's not bad. He's okay. So I'm definitely down with Light Crowhook. Alright, and then last but not least, we do have Dark Crowhook, who's a defender type, and he's coming in with 29k HP, 1.9k attack, and then about 3.1, 3.2k defense here. So stat distribution wise, once again, pretty normal for a Light and Dark Nat 4, nothing special, and I'd rather it be normal, once again, than trash. Let's take a look at his skills though. For his 3-star skill and 5-star skill, which I do believe this is the first Mon in MSO history to have Fearless Taunt on both of his skills. For his 3-star skill at least, it has an 80% chance for 2 turns, and then for his 5-star skill, it's a 70% chance for 2 turns, meaning not only does Dark Crowhook do like no damage, I mean obviously damage comes from Fearless Taunt, but his main selling point is literally just to bait. He's literally just a baiter for light mons only. And I think that's very interesting, and it could also be very unique depending on the situations here, because he's basically going to have his shield up 24/7. I mean, if things work out for him, that's basically what's going to happen. Obviously, if he gets stunned before he can do Fearless Taunt once again and it sticks, you might have issues right there. But other than that, dude's just going to be guarding the whole fight. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out, because Fearless Taunt has been around for a little bit, but this, I believe, is the first time where things have really gotten spicy with it here. But book-wise, though, his 3-star Fearless Taunt gets a 20% damage boost, and it goes up to 90% for 2 turns. And then for his 5-star Fearless Taunt, it gets a 30% damage increase. So, all in all, I would say that he's probably the most interesting one, in my opinion, followed by the light one. And then the water one's going to be 3rd on my list, and then probably fire would be 4th, and then wood would be 5th. But all in all, they're not super duper terrible mons. The only issue is that, especially as a newer player, they drop off in a PvE situation very quickly. But a couple elements of these can be used in a Nat 3 league to your own discretion. Obviously, light can be very, very useful in the Elemental Trial of Chaos, and also as a light nuker, because having a nukers in your account is always a good idea. Same thing for the dark one. So, like, once again, if you can get a super evolution, I might be down, dude. I might be down. Crowhook might be the new meta. I don't mean that. I'm just kidding. But I think Crowhook's gonna be a smiley face gamer if he gets a super evolution. But yeah, I think the light and dark Crowhook additions are very, very welcome, and they brought in some spice into the MSO world in terms of skills, and I do hope that Smart Study does keep a good job up with that. But that's pretty much it for the Crowhook review, you guys. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it at any point in time, feel free to like it now. If you haven't considered subscribing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest, greatest, and more in MSO. If there's any mon request videos you guys would like to see or have updated, either find that video and comment it, or just leave it here and I'll get to it when I can. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and yeah, see ya.